Have you ever woken up from a dream so vivid, so strange, that it sticks with you all day? That feeling of falling, only to jolt awake right before you hit the ground? Or the bizarrely specific dream where all your teeth crumble into dust? For centuries, we've dismissed dreams as random, nonsensical brain clutter, a nightly cleanup of the day's mental junk. But what if they aren't random at all? What if your dreams are a secret, coded language from the deepest part of your mind, a place that your conscious self rarely gets to visit? Imagine your subconscious as a silent partner in your life. Every night, it sends you a detailed, highly symbolic report on your emotional state. These aren't just stories, they're signals. And if you learn how to listen, they can reveal your deepest anxieties, your hidden desires, and the solutions to problems you didn't even know you had. They are a roadmap to your inner world. Today, we're going to decode 7 of the most common dreams and uncover what your mind is desperately trying to tell you. Get ready, because you might not look at your sleep the same way again. Number 1, the dream of being chased. This is one of the most universal dreams people experience. The setting might change: a dark alley, a crowded street, an endless forest, but the feeling is always the same: pure, heart-pounding panic as something or someone pursues you, and you just can't seem to get away. Your legs feel like they're moving through mud, and every door you try to open is locked. Psychologically, this dream is a classic manifestation of your brain's fight or flight response, but playing out in the safe theater of your mind. The thing chasing you is almost never a random monster, it's a symbol. It represents a problem, a person, a responsibility, or a feeling that you're actively trying to run from in your daily life. It could be an impending deadline at work, a difficult conversation you've been putting off with a family member, or even a past regret that you refuse to confront. The dream's intensity is often proportional to how much you're avoiding the issue in reality. Think about a time you had to give a big presentation. The night before, you might have dreamt of being chased by a faceless, shadowy figure. That figure isn't a real threat, it's the embodiment of your fear of failure or public speaking. Your subconscious is using this dramatic scenario to scream, "Hey! This thing you're avoiding? It's catching up to you. It's time to turn around and face it." Interestingly, if the pursuer is an animal, it might represent a more primal emotion you're suppressing, like anger or passion. The dream isn't meant to terrorize you, but to alert you. The best way to handle it is to ask yourself in the morning, what am I running from? Number 2, the dream of falling. You're on a cliff, a tall building, or maybe just floating in an empty void. Suddenly, your footing gives way, and you're plummeting downwards. The feeling of helplessness is overwhelming, and often, you wake up with a sudden physical jolt just before impact. That jolt, known as a hypnic jerk, is your body's own response to the brain's simulation of a life-threatening situation. This dream is profoundly linked to feelings of insecurity, instability, and a loss of control in your waking life. When you feel like you don't have a solid grip on a situation, whether it's your career, a relationship, or your finances, your mind translates that emotional freefall into a literal one. It's a powerful metaphor for feeling unsupported or overwhelmed by circumstances. The speed of the fall matters, too. A slow, gentle descent might suggest you're learning to let go of control in a healthy way, while a frantic, fast plummet points to sheer panic. Imagine you've just started a new job where you feel completely out of your depth. You're worried you can't handle the responsibilities and that you're going to fail. That night, you dream you're falling from a skyscraper. The dream is a direct reflection of your professional anxieties. Your mind is processing that fear of falling behind or not measuring up. The dream could also happen when a serious relationship feels like it's on shaky ground. The falling sensation mirrors the lack of emotional support and the fear that the foundation of your life is about to collapse. It's your mind's way of signaling a need to find your footing, or perhaps to accept that it's okay to let go and trust that you will land safely. Number 3, the dream of your teeth falling out. This one is uniquely unsettling. You might be talking, and suddenly you feel a tooth loosen. Then another, and another, until they're crumbling like chalk or falling whole into your hands. It feels incredibly real and often leaves you with a lingering sense of dread long after you've woken up and frantically checked your mouth in the mirror. While old folklore links this dream to loss, modern psychology offers a far less grim interpretation. Teeth dreams are most often connected to stress and anxiety, particularly concerning your appearance, how others perceive you, and your ability to communicate. Your teeth are on the front lines of your social self, they're part of your smile and are essential for speaking. Losing them in a dream can symbolize a feeling of powerlessness, a fear that you aren't being heard, or difficulty communicating your true thoughts and feelings. It can also be linked to stress-induced teeth grinding, or bruxism, where your physical tension manifests in the dream. Think about a time you had a major argument with a loved one and said things you regretted. You might dream of your teeth falling out that night. It's your subconscious processing the anxiety around your words. Did you say the right thing? Did you hurt someone? It's as if your mind is trying to take back your words by physically removing the tools you used to speak them. This dream can also pop up when you're worried about money. In our society, financial trouble can lead to a loss of face, and your mind might translate this abstract social fear into the very concrete, visceral image of your teeth falling out. Number 4. Being unprepared for a test or exam. You're back in school, sitting at a tiny desk. You walk into a classroom, and the teacher hands you a final exam for a class you never attended or completely forgot about. You haven't studied, you don't know any of the answers, and a wave of panic washes over you as everyone else around you starts writing furiously. The clock is ticking, and you are completely, hopelessly lost. This dream is incredibly common, even for people who have been out of school for decades. It has very little to do with actual academics and everything to do with what's known as imposter syndrome. It's the dream of feeling like a fraud, of being judged and found wanting. It taps into a deep-seated fear that you're not prepared for the tests of your adult life, be it a new promotion, a major life decision, or the expectations placed on you by yourself and others. You feel like you're about to be exposed. You might have this dream when you're up for a promotion at work. You feel like you don't truly deserve it, and you're terrified that your boss and colleagues will soon find out that you're not as competent as you seem. The dream exam is a metaphor for this real-life evaluation. It can also surface during major life transitions, like becoming a new parent. Suddenly you're faced with the ultimate test for which there is no study guide, and the fear of failing is immense. This dream is a signal that you may be putting too much pressure on yourself to be perfect and that it might be time to acknowledge your actual accomplishments and give yourself some credit. Number 5. The dream of flying. Not all dreams are anxiety-ridden. Some are incredibly liberating, and the dream of flying is the perfect example. You might be soaring over cities like a superhero, gliding through clouds, or just gently floating a few feet off the ground. The feeling is often one of pure freedom, joy, and empowerment. The world and its problems look so small from up there. Psychologically, flying dreams represent a sense of control, personal power, and liberation from the constraints of your waking life. When you dream of flying, it often means you feel on top of the world. You've recently overcome a major obstacle, gained a new perspective on a difficult problem, or finally broken free from a situation or mindset that was holding you back. However, the nature of the flight is key. If you are flying with ease, it signals confidence and freedom. If you struggle to stay in the air or keep getting tangled in power lines, it could mean that while you desire freedom, something is still holding you back. Think about the feeling after you finally quit a job you hated, or ended a toxic relationship. That night, you might have a vivid, exhilarating dream of flying. It's your mind celebrating this newfound freedom. The act of soaring through the air is a beautiful symbol of your elevated spirit and the release of a heavy burden. You look down on the office building or the house you left behind, and it shrinks into insignificance. This dream is your subconscious patting you on the back, telling you, you are powerful, you are free, and you are capable of rising above it all. Number 6. Being naked in public. This is another classic anxiety dream. You suddenly realize you're in a crowded place at work, on a bus, giving a speech, and you're completely naked. The dream is filled with feelings of shame, vulnerability, and a desperate need to hide, but you can't. Everyone is staring, and you feel utterly exposed. This dream is rarely about an actual desire to be naked. Instead, it's about emotional exposure. It symbolizes a fear of being found out, of having your flaws, insecurities, or true self revealed for everyone to see and judge. It often occurs when you're in a new situation where you feel exposed or scrutinized, like starting a new relationship or taking on a public-facing role. You're afraid that people will see the real you and reject it. The specific context of the dream is important. Being naked at work points to professional insecurities, while being naked among friends might suggest social anxiety. Imagine you're about to meet your partner's parents for the first time. You're incredibly nervous about making a good impression and worried they won't like the real you. This anxiety could easily translate into a dream where you show up to their house completely naked. The dream isn't about your clothes, it's about your fear that your true self, stripped of all pretense and social masks, will be judged and rejected. It's a powerful signal from your subconscious about your feelings of vulnerability and a need for acceptance. It's asking you to be more comfortable in your own skin, both literally and metaphorically. Number 7. Discovering new, unseen rooms in your house. You're walking through your own home in a dream, a place you know like the back of your hand. But this time, you open a door you've never seen before. Behind it is a new room, or maybe even an entire new wing of the house you never knew existed. These rooms might be beautiful and bright, or dark and dusty, but the feeling is one of discovery and wonder. This is one of the most positive and exciting dreams you can have. In dream psychology, your house represents yourself, your mind, your personality, your soul. Discovering new rooms, therefore, symbolizes the discovery of new aspects of yourself. It suggests that you are beginning to recognize untapped potential, hidden talents, or new interests that you weren't previously aware of. The state of the room is a clue. A beautiful, sunlit conservatory might represent a new spiritual awareness, while a dusty, forgotten workshop could be a creative talent you've neglected. Maybe you've recently started a new hobby, like painting or learning an instrument. You might then dream of finding a beautiful, light-filled art studio or music room in your house. This is your mind's way of acknowledging and validating this new, developing part of your identity. Or perhaps you discover a hidden library, symbolizing a newfound love of learning. This dream is a sign of personal growth and self-expansion. It's an encouragement from your subconscious, telling you that there is more to you than you think, and that it's time to explore those hidden corners of your own magnificent potential. So, from running from our fears in endless corridors to soaring freely above the clouds, our dreams are far more than just nightly noise. They are a deeply personal, symbolic language, a private conversation with the most honest part of ourselves. They act as a mirror, reflecting our deepest anxieties, our unacknowledged desires, and our incredible, untapped potential. Learning to pay attention to them is like learning a new language, the language of you. They don't just warn us, they guide us, celebrate with us, and push us to grow. Remember, this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Dream interpretation is highly personal and symbolic, and this is not a substitute for professional advice. But it's a fascinating place to start exploring your inner world. So, I have to ask you, what's the most memorable or bizarre dream you've ever had? Share it in the comments below, and let's see how many of us have had similar subconscious adventures. You might be surprised to find out you're not alone.